What terrible thing does a parent need to do to a child to get arrested?
Put your hands behind your back for me.
Okay. Okay.
This woman's being handcuffed, and soon she'll be taken to jail. Why? She told her son, "Get out of the car and walk home." Here he is, 8-year-old Aiden. His parents encourage him to play outside on his own to build independence. But one day, after karate practice, he misbehaved in the car, and his mom told him, "Walk the final half-mile home by yourself." He started to, but then one woman was shocked to see him walking.
There's a little boy walking down the sidewalk.
She called the cops.
He's a perfect target for somebody to kidnap. Officers are on the way.
The police put Aiden in the back of their car.
Why are you out walking by yourself?
My mom thought I needed exercise.
The police took Aiden home and asked his mom if having him walk home was reasonable.
Does that sound reasonable to you?
For him, it does.
I see huge issue.
Later, his parents told me about it. How far away from home?
It was half a mile.
So you weren't worried about him?
Not
It's a
at all.
safe neighborhood.
In fact, their city ranks among the safest in Texas. But the police officer says, not safe enough.
To have an 8-year-old get out of the car and walk by himself, that's a big problem. Okay, because we don't know who's in that white van.
Does he have a point? No, says Lenore Skenazy.
99.999% repeating of white vans are guys coming to fix your toilet, right? Or guys coming to mow your lawn.
Skenazy's the author of Free Range Kids. She points out that ignorant media mislead us about what's dangerous.
460,000 kids are reported missing every single year.
460,000 children are late for dinner, stayed at school and forgot to tell their mom, stopped to pet a dog. The definition of missing is anybody who has been missing for an hour.
Kidnappings by strangers are extremely rare. Just being in a car is 400 times more dangerous.
You don't see people saying, "Oh, I could put Johnny in the car, but what if we're T-boned? I wouldn't forgive myself. What if there's a drunk driver? I just won't do it." But people do that when they think about their kid going outside. So here's a kid able to be outside in the fresh air in his boring neighborhood, walking home, and somebody thinks that's so dangerous that they call 911. What's dangerous is that we've come up with a culture that sees a kid outside and fantasizes not just something bad, but the very worst case scenario.
The media do focus on worst cases.
Police say this is a cautionary tale.
Keep your kids close. Don't be on your phones when you're out in public with them. Don't have them walking behind you.
They sound like the cop who lectured Heather.
You have a lot of crazy people out here. I don't trust my child with out of range about 20 or 30 feet from him.
It was a lot of his opinion.
But police officers can act on their opinions.
You may end up going to jail.
Okay.
For endangering a child.
Okay.
So that being said, put your hands behind your back for me.
Okay.
And he's saying, well, I could put you in cuffs. And then he does put you in cuffs.
I just figured they'd just question me and let me go.
But they jailed her and kept her there overnight.
It was terrifying. I was just waiting, crying.
The next day, her husband was allowed to bail her out. But the government wasn't done with her. Prosecutors indicted her for placing her child in imminent danger of death and acting against the peace and dignity of the state. Heather pled guilty. Why did you plead guilty?
It was a minimum 2 years because it was a state felony charge. So I couldn't risk that for my family.
2 years minimum. Also,
Our lawyers, they were going to charge us another $7,000 to go to court.
as part of her plea, she had to write this groveling letter admitting she was wrong.
It was really difficult to say the words, I should not have taken my eyes off of him, when in my heart I knew that he was perfectly safe and capable.
Then, because she'd been charged with a felony, her employer fired her. Aiden's still upset about what the prosecutors and cops did.
What they said is stupid because, it's a really safe neighborhood and kids play all the time.
He's like, I can walk home by myself.
When I was a kid, I walked alone often. So did Heather.
I remember very clearly at 7 or 8, walking to Target with a friend.
The new fear of kidnappings is not just an American thing. This map from a British newspaper shows the shrinking ranges of freedom over the past 60 years. Great-grandfather walked 6 miles when he was a child. His son, just 1 mile. His grandson isn't even allowed past the edge of the street. People think that's reasonable because we're told kidnappings and crime are up. Life's too dangerous now. But it's not true. Crime is not up. It's down sharply from 30 years ago.
It's not less safe now. It's more safe.
So you will drop your kid off if this happens again?
No, we're scared.
We're scared. It's not that we don't think it was the right decision, but what they decided for us was not very affordable.
We can't go through that again.
Has it changed the way you parent now?
We don't even leave them in the car to go into the convenience store.
Not because someone's going to take them, but because someone's going to see and call the police.
It's sad that some people think a child walking home is something to call the police about.
Let's make sure that simply trusting your kid in the world, knowing that independence is good for your kid, is not considered a crime.
Skenazy has persuaded these 8 states to pass childhood independence laws. Those clarify that letting kids do things on their own isn't abuse.
Right or left, it doesn't matter. You realize you don't want the government telling you when you can let your kids do things because you know their children better than they do.
In a few weeks, I'll air more from Lenore Skenazy about how free-range parenting leads to healthy kids and healthier parents, too. To get that video, subscribe below.